Welcome to Camp Cookout Adventures. Join me on this winterous night as we fire up the Winnerwell Titanium stove in my lovely teepee tent here and cook up a fabulous meal. Let's do this.
It's Camp Cookout Adventures. It's Camp Cookout Adventures.
Welcome back, everybody. What a year it has been. Here we are once again at December. Just had Christmas. We're in between Christmas and New Year's Eve, and we're on the south coast of Cornwall in our lovely Long Geek teepee tent for a night. We're going to bust out the stove to keep us warm from this horrible miserly cold that we've got going on right now. I've brought along my sleeping cot, keep me elevated from the floor. I've got a fabulous list of ingredients. We're going to cook up a really lovely meal tonight and have a cracking time camping. How have you all been? I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. We've had a wonderful one here in Cornwall. Very indulgent. We're certainly suffering from many a roast dinner and cheese platters in the evening. It's almost been a year since I last came out with my hot tent set up. This time it's ever so slightly different. I've gone for the Long Geek 4-person teepee tent. So it's actually a massive upgrade for space. All year I've used the 2-man version, which has been fantastic. We've taken it up at Dartmoor. We had our Winnerwell stove in it last year. And it's been a really great bit of kit for a very reasonable amount of money. So I was looking into teepee tents, and without wanting to spend a fortune, it was a toss-up between the Tigris Rock Fortress, a 4-man teepee sleeper. Supposed to be thick canvas, that one, which came in at around £257, or the 4-man version of this Long Geek teepee tent. I read the reviews, I did the best research I could, and having used Long Geek stuff for a whole year without any issues and no maintenance or breakages, I went for the cheaper option. This one was 140 quid, and it is like for like with my old one, just bigger. I've got my chair in here and I've got loads of headroom up above. You could stand up in here at a crouch, which you can't in the other. So I wanted the extra room to have a few more toys and gadgets out. Just going to set up my sleeping cot here, and then we'll start looking at setting up the titanium stove. We're getting there. We've got the cot set up, got my chair set up. It's getting gradually more and more comfortable as we go. I've just set off a citronella incense stick to keep away all the midgies, all the biting creepy crawlies. There's a couple gathered on the apex of the teepee tent. Let's have a look at our little tent stove we've got for tonight. This is the Winnerwell Titanium stove. It's a tiny little thing. It weighs next to nothing. I mean, I would say that would be about 800 grams, maybe 900. I'd be very surprised if that was a kilogram. There's our main little folded up stove box. We've got our top where our chimney attaches to. Aha, look at this little gadget, look. It folds out from that. Gonna open it up. Two feet or not 2 feet? There we are. That's that one assembled. That's our spark arrestor for the top of our little chimney. This is a sheet of super thin titanium, and it comes with these little steel rings. Those there. So it's folded up this way, like a little mini telescope. What we need to do is unroll it and wrap it around the other way so it becomes a long tube. Just going to remove these rings a minute. Pop them down there, try not to lose any. Now this is a little bit tricky because this is incredibly thin and can be quite sharp, so we've got to be a bit careful with it. tuck the spark arrestor on that end. And now from the other side, I'm going to try and work these little rings on. Just going to try and space them out relatively equally, best I can. Oh, it is mighty thin and sharp stuff. I'm being very careful with it here. Alright, something like that, I think. Well then, there we are. On chimney. So because this is a brand new tent once again, we have to set up a stove jack. That is the beauty about these Long Geek tents, is that you don't have to buy any external thing to get it set up. It just comes with everything you need to go hot tent camping. So now I've got a super sharp knife. I'm going to roughly guess the diameter of my little chimney flue and cut the width of it in a cross. So we're going to go through like that way like that, and then make an X. X marks the spot. Right, we'll give that a go. Maybe need a little bit more, but better to start off too small than too big. Right there, a wee bit bigger. Little stove here, get something like upright. There, ready to fill with tinder and get her fired up. Now, a couple of additional things I've gone with here just for safety. This is a fireproof mat, and underneath it I've also used a little fold out aluminium windshield just as a bit of a heat barrier between the burner itself and the ground sheet. That stove's set up and it's ready to go. There's our little opener there. Got our little baffle to control airflow, so we can get a roaring fire when we open her fully up, and then simmer it right back by closing the vents. Fabulous. It's getting rather chilly in here, so I think I'm gonna get the burner going. Try and warm myself up a little bit. I've got damp socks, isn't that the worst? Absolute worst. Some of this lot in here, and fuzz a little bit of this up to make a bit of a feather stick to help it take nice and easy. Made a little video on how to make these firelighters, which is a cotton wool pad and some leftover candle wax. And just to prove to you how effective they are, we're going to put one to the test tonight. So, standard cotton wool pad, soaked in lovely apple scented candle wax. We're just going to unroll it, fluff it up in the middle a little bit so it'll take a spark nice and well. You see that? Get it all fluffed up there, all of that lovely cotton. Pop that in there, get our ferro rod and a nice sharp knife edge, and see if we can fling a spark in. Yeah, second goes the charm tonight. Excellent. It's so satisfying doing that. It's great. Right, little feather stick on top. Here we go, everyone. As easy as that. How lovely is that, eh? Gorgeous. As you can see, my socks got a little bit damp, so I'm just drying them off by the flue there. It is lovely and toasty warm. It's a great thing about these tiny little tent stoves is that because it's such a small area to heat, and all of this flue and chimney is so thin, including the burner itself, that little fire that we've got in there just radiates through the whole lot of it so quickly. It heats up so fast and just as well because it's absolutely freezing tonight. It's lovely listening to that gorgeous noise of that little campfire inside the comfort of your own tent. It's a great way to spend an evening. Check out this little beauty as well. It is a tiny little UCO lantern which takes tea light candles. How lovely is that? Click. How cozy is that? Middle of December, we're out in the middle of nowhere, and I am as toasty as a marshmallow. Lovely. Just waiting for my kettle to boil, and then we'll have ourselves a nice hot cup of coffee. Beautiful. Our kettle's just gone off on top of our stove, so it's time for a nice hot cup of coffee. That magic. Tonight's menu is going to be in celebration of an end of year feast. So we have got tonight bone marrow steaks. Look at those. We're going to be serving that with shallot, onion and green pepper rice. We're going to start getting ready and prepping the veg, ready for the cookout part of our show. So here I have my finely chopped shallot onions. I've got a green pepper all diced and a clove of garlic. This is the top part of my little billy can, and this thing here is perfect for cooking rice. I've got 1 measure of basmati rice in there. I'm going to cook with beef dripping tonight. Pop that over the heat just for a moment. And now that that's all melted, I'm just going to whack my rice in there. As I need the pot for measuring out my water. Pop that straight in there. I'm also going to add to my rice is a little bit of salt and a beef stock pot. It's going to be really rich, savoury rice. Now that's over the heat, just going to pop our lid on and leave it be till it starts steaming. All the coals are a really low heat now, so it's going to bubble up, boil that water and just steam that rice nice and slowly. It's just what you want for rice. Just cook it low and slow until all the water gets absorbed into it. And you've got beautiful, fluffy, non-stodgy rice. That's been gently steaming away there for a good 20 minutes now, so I expect all the moisture is gone from in there, and oh yeah, all those lovely flavours. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to carefully take this off the stove and wipe that over on the table over there. Come on then, you. Pop that up there. I'll get my little frying pan on there. Now I'm going to cook this in 2 different ways. So we've cooked our rice on the Winnerwell stove, and I'm going to use a Trangia Mini to fry my steaks and brown off the veggies there. So we're using all the toys tonight as a big celebration to 1 year of Camp Cookout Adventures. Use everything. Yeah. These are a couple of absolutely beautiful beef marrow steaks. They've got a big chunk of bone with marrow straight in the middle of it. So I want to make sure that I'm going to cook those perfectly. A little bit of our beloved onion salt on there, and we're just going to sear them one at a time. These steaks look absolutely fabulous. what I'm going to do now that I've browned off one is I'm going to wrap it in the foil and then let it sit underneath the stove. Keep it warm and just let it rest. Whoosh. Get that other one in. Just have a little tipple in there. Get my plate heated up on top of there. What a setup. Oh, well, here we are, my friends. Oh wow, look at those beauties just been resting underneath our stove. They look absolutely delicious. Perfect. Get those on the plate. We are ready to serve up, and not a moment too soon. I am famished. I bet this smell will drive any local foxes absolutely wild tonight. I'll have to be on guard in case I get attacked again. Not that there's going to be much left tonight for them to steal. I'll make sure of that. Oh, look at that. Little candlelit dinner we've got going on right here. What do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? Bone marrow steaks, beefy savoury rice, and soft cooked shallot onions, green peppers and garlic. Oh, what a stunning way to see the end of the year out. And a particularly good bottle of wine. We've got Yellowtail Jammy Red Rue. It's very sweet. Like a savage, I'm going to have it in my enamel mug. Last of the Christmas tipple, that was. So, ladies and gentlemen, a toast to your good health and to a fabulous year that's just gone by. I'm super thankful for it. My family, my friends, all my adventures. So cheers to you. I hope next year is great for you too. While I enjoy my meal here, I think it's a good time for us to reminisce over the past year we've had at Camp Cookout Adventures. And as we look back, the soundtrack is going to be a little thing that I'm working on at the moment, which is a new acoustic album. So this song is called The Disease. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers, everybody. Well, that was magic. Absolutely delicious. Well, I hope you lot enjoyed the song. And that's kind of where I've been these past few months, is just writing music and recording. It's been a very busy time, so I hope to get back to many more adventures in the new year, that's for sure. I've got some great ones planned, I can't wait to take you along. Well, I've polished off the last of my wine, and the farm I'm staying at has invited me for some drinks to see out the new year with them. So I'm going to mosey on down there and probably sink a couple more before staggering back up to bed here. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm not taking any chances tonight. I've got my warm leggings on. I've got my snuddy on. I've got my lovely Jura sleeping bag. I'm on my camp cot, and the Winnerwell stove is ticking away nicely. Oh, that's good. I shall see you all in the morning. Good night, everyone. Well, good morning everyone. We're all packed up and we're headed home. I just want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to everybody who's tuned into the channel this year. It's been a great first year at Camp Cookout Adventures, and I'm really looking forward to 2025. I wish you all a very happy new year, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.